It is The Riot. It's another one of those podcasts where I sure did save a lot, but I don't know if it's any good.
We can't guarantee it's amazing stuff, but at least you have something. Quality over quantity or quantity over quality, which is the most important today.
It's quantity over quality, I think, but I'm not sure.
Maybe it is good. Maybe we just don't know.
Yeah. So stuff in the podcast today, we talk about the Animal Crossing update that's coming and what Nikki's going to be doing next Friday. That might be the best part of the whole show.
I don't know. It just seems odd.
I'm excited about it.
Basically, the Animal Crossing update and the Babysitter's Club comes out on Netflix. And I used to read those all the time when I was younger.
It's coming together.
Based off the trailer, it might be a little younger than I thought they would have made it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what goes on next week.
Oh, I just burped an apple pie Kit Kat, which reminds me we did a
food fight. We did the new Kit Kat apple pie, which when you're done with this podcast, hop over to RadioU Riot on our Facebook page and you can watch us do the food fight. You can catch up on our interviews there and join us and say hi through that platform.
So we also talk new dessert donuts at Krispy Kreme, Vegas buffets, Cyberpunk, the Steam sale.
So food and games so far.
Yeah, something that I did, like I crossed a line this
movies.
week. It's about movies, and you'll see when we get there. We got a whole toilet section of the podcast today.
There's a host of stories.
YouTube, politicians, your brain, stuff like that.
So hopefully you enjoy the podcast. Next week will be still podcast, but it'll be Worst of Riots.
It will.
Hudson has had the honor of assembling what he thinks you might enjoy. So that'll be next week for a special week of our podcasts.
All right. So
have a great day.
Bye.
And a good weekend and all the fun stuff.
All right. Bye.
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 The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the Worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Yesterday, there was news from Nintendo about 3 free summer updates that are coming to Animal Crossing.
Okay, so it was just Animal Crossing. I wasn't sure if there's any other game news, but
no, I mean, like there are other games from other companies, but
all there needs to be,
all that Nikki needs to know, and all of you addicts, man, some of the stuff that I'm seeing from people, I feel like everyone is starting to confess on Twitter. I see so many people on my feed. They're like, I have a problem.
Well, it's nice when you recognize you're not the only one, and we just needed something nice. So I think this is it. Because I'm super excited.
So update, they're calling it Summer Update Wave 1, which will hit on
July 3rd. What?
Go ahead, Nikki. Why don't you just take it?
No. I want to hear from your perspective.
Well, I'm just going to read.
In case I miss anything.
Okay. You're going to be able to dive and swim in the ocean.
That's all I need.
So here's my question is, like, are you going to go underwater?
Yes, you can dive underwater.
What?
So then
a whole new world.
Exactly. So for Animal Crossing, you're just like fishing. You're just at the shore. But with this, you can hop right on in. You can swim. You can dive. You can get things. You can meet new characters in the water.
It's perfect.
It is, absolutely.
Okay. So what else?
Especially if you can't swim in, like, real life. It's just even better.
Hey, you got a nice hot tub back there.
I do, but I meant for everybody else. You can't, swim. You're not near the ocean. So you can do this.
You don't want to get the Rona at the public pool.
You're not ready to go out yet, or it's not open. That was all I really mostly focused on. There'd be new, like, recipes and DIY stuff. But that was the main thing.
So let's see. There will be Wave 2 in early August. Yeah.
What? Again, what?
Okay.
I didn't even notice what's coming then. I thought that was a secret.
So, I actually don't have a list here of what's coming then.
Yeah, they haven't really shared. They just said that there'd be another wave in August.
All right. Well, so who's excited?
Oh.
This comes right at the end of our time off.
I know.
But but that means that you can be up in the middle of the night on July 3rd when the patch hits, and then you can play for like 4 days.
Do you want to know, though, like, I don't think I'm going to feel, I don't know what age I'm going to feel on that Friday, because next Friday, Babysitter's Club on Netflix comes out, and Animal Crossing, and that's my whole day. It's fine. It's fine. Just no one noticed, okay? No one noticed.
Nikki's going to be playing Animal Crossing, watching the Babysitter's Club.
It's fine.
It seems perfect to me.
It does, and that's what one does on vacation. Things you wouldn't normally do. I did notice that was on the same day, so we'll see what happens.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU. RadioU.
Let's have a little moment of honesty here. I hate country music. And it's not like you just don't like it.
Or you haven't found the right song.
I hate it.
It hates it all.
It drives me insane. I mean, I can handle something, a Southern fried rock in the vein of, say, a Maylene and the Sons of Disaster. Sure. Okay. But I'll tell you what. Like, that's as far as I can go.
That's it.
That's as far as I can make it. I can't stand it.
What makes you bring up country music then?
Well, Nikki, I have been dying to ask this question, and I'm not trying to poke the bear. I'm legitimately wondering. Yesterday, a group of people I haven't heard about in at least 10 years, the Dixie Chicks, they are a country music gathering of people that sing, and they came out yesterday and announced, hey, we're just the Chicks now.
Oh, they took Dixie off?
Because Dixie is racist or, they have a whole explanation for it. And that's fine. But the thing that I don't understand is that I was told that to refer to women as chicks was also offensive.
Yes, you're right. But they're saying it about themselves, so maybe that's okay.
So then that's okay?
If you say it about yourself, then sure.
So I can make fat jokes, but you better not make any fat jokes about me.
Exactly. And what else were they going to do? I mean, if they were going to just take Dixie off, they didn't want to probably change their name too much.
Well, I mean...
So that's all that was left with them.
You just rebrand.
Well, yeah, I mean... Just keeping it at Chicks, I guess, or the Chicks, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
The Chicks.
The Chicks.
Interesting.
Do they still even... Are they a thing? But see, I don't care.
I don't think
but that's...
they're a thing.
I don't either.
So
I was
fine.
I was actually like, this is stunting. This just feels like stunting. This is to get your name out there.
Probably. I mean, back at the beginning of some of that stuff, there was a few other country.
I saw Lady Antebellum again.
Don't know.
Didn't know who it was. Just saw the headline.
So they were changing a few things. And then at that time, people kept saying, oh, remember the group Dixie Chicks, and maybe they should change.
Okay. All right.
So I think they kind of felt pressured into. So they did.
Well, you know what?
Or they felt they should. Maybe not even pressured into it, but that's what they decided.
It's a step forward for race relations and a step backward for feminism.
Again, if you're saying it about yourself, or I guess they're just okay with it, because it always has chicks in the name, so they were used to it.
Well, I know, but they also always had Dixie in the name.
You're right. Now,
they were used to it.
Jerome just texted and said they're just going to have to change to the, and it won't be the only band going by the. Hey, that's it.
You know what? I love that.
They might have just have been. It would have been better if they would have gone that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the. That's great.
Well, Jerome, an excellent idea.
I don't know.
They might still switch to that. Who knows? That's
the first thing I thought is that, okay, when I just remember that I would, don't say that. You don't use that word talking about.
Maybe Chicks, though, is also still a more Southern or a more country thing.
Maybe it is.
Like when someone calls you darling or all that.
Honey.
Yeah, honey.
Yeah. What's the other one? When you go to Cracker Barrel
and they're like,
they
sugar, baby.
They put their hand on you and they're like, and they talk to you and say, and you're like, what?
And they're like right in your face, and you're like, wait a minute, please don't.
Like, why are you touching me and talking to me and calling me things?
That's a Southern thing, or just has that style with it, and we're just not used to that.
All right. Okay. I'm honestly, I'm just trying to ask questions here, because when I saw it, that was my thought. I was like, you guys actually have to rework the whole brand. You don't get to hang on to any of this.
You're not done yet with changing your name.
Keep going.
Keep changing the name.
Also change your style of music. And you know what? Never mind. I don't care about any of it, because there's nothing you're going to do that's going to get me to even pre-save your album.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Well, it appears that Krispy Kreme has pushed out their new dessert donuts.
And you're like, wait, I thought a donut was already a dessert.
You know what? They look pretty good. Okay, so here are your options. They're limited time flavors like pickup. And you've got banana pudding.
Yes.
That's, you know what? I
love a good banana pudding.
I'm up for that, even though it's just going to end up having that fake banana taste.
No, and what helps it has Nilla wafers on top.
That helps.
I think that seals the deal. Wafers. So it's a donut with banana pudding, sort of, maybe it's on the inside too. And then the icing with it, the cream, and Nilla wafers.
Mm-hmm. It looks good. Then they've got coconut cake donuts, which they can keep.
Maybe they're good. Maybe it's a subtle thing.
They're covered in coconut shavings.
It doesn't have filling. It doesn't have cookies on top of it.
There's nothing subtle about what's happening with that coconut.
Out of all of them, doesn't it look like the most subtle?
Now that's
the other
fair.
Is just glazed.
The appearance is subtle, but believe me, you're going to choke on coconut with that thing.
So a lot of coconut shavings on top of like a cake donut.
And now we come into the important one, the Mississippi mud pie.
So what's that taste like?
I have no idea, but I know that's chocolate and I want it.
It looks like something we would go for first, but I don't remember what a Mississippi mud pie tastes like.
All right, I'll Google
We know like a Derby pie, which is like that... cookie sort of pie.
It's like a cookie that they pour bourbon on and bake.
It's delicious.
It's shockingly good.
But a Mississippi mud pie, like, is that peanut butter or what?
Okay, here's what I got. Mississippi mud pie is a chocolate-based dessert pie that is likely to have originated in the state of Mississippi. The tree contains a gooey chocolate sauce on top of a crumbly chocolate crust. The pie is usually served with ice cream.
This will work. That'll do.
That'll be just fine there, pig.
So oink oink for all three of them.
That'll do, pig.
We'll take all of them.
Do.
So they're limited time. It's like a collection. They did this kind of similar thing back, was it last fall with the pie ones? Do you remember that?
I know we ate them.
Yeah, we had there was a cherry pie
what it was.
and an apple pie, and they look like pies on top.
Nikki, with all of what's going on in the media since, I don't know, February, March, I don't know when we did anything ever.
You don't know when something is?
I don't know.
I only know because
all track of time.
We can go back through RadioU Riot on Facebook and our YouTube channel, and we can actually go back and track when we tried these things.
Well, then you know what we should do here? I'm getting a feeling. Are you starting to feel you and I come back from vacation?
I think we should do an after show, and we should go try these.
An after show where we end up in the car, and you guys see us driving the same stretch of road.
We can go around and take a different road.
That's right. There are two ways that we can get there.
We'll go the north way.
We'll go the other way around.
I think that's a great idea.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
I want to say hi to Patrick. He just texted us at 8772 RadioU.
He's in Indiana, and he sent some pics of his treats.
So he got the apple pie Kit Kats, which we'll be trying later. And then he also got Doritos Tangy Pickle.
I know you don't want the pickle ones, but I actually really want to try those, and I'm so disappointed I forgot to look for them.
Well, you can try them on your own.
On my own time. But that's what the food fight should be.
I
we
know.
only food fight items that we feel pretty comfortable with.
That's not true. That one time we ate that thing we didn't like.
Yeah, we very rarely go outside of our comfort zone, outside of like other chips and cookies.
Yeah, well.
So this would be a step out for you. You don't like pickles.
It would be, and that's why, that's why I feel like I don't need to do that, because I already know it's bad. Now it's just a matter of figuring out how bad it is.
But with a food fight or a taste test, we need to explain how it tastes bad to everybody else. It's our job so that we try it so that they don't have to.
Okay. Or we could all see pickle
and
go, oh, this is pickle. It's a terrible idea to try, and I won't.
And so, well, Patrick said the tangy pickle isn't for everyone, but I think I would like it.
Oh, I don't think it sounds good at all.
Oh, okay, fine. We won't make you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll continue whining about other things I don't want to do.
But if you see them when you're out, I will try them. So let's try to find them.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll pick them up. That's not a problem.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Apple is closing 7 of its stores in Texas.
Uh-oh.
Stores that it had reopened because...
After the quarantine stuff?
Mm-hmm. So they're shutting it back down. There has been a big COVID-19 surge in Harris County, and Apple's just like, you know what?
So they're not closing them for good. They're just closing it back for another quarantine
round.
thing.
Yeah, that's right. So they have not, as I understand it, have not said when those stores are going to reopen. But they have 7 stores in Houston that were open, and they have closed those 7 stores.
That have now been closed.
Mm-hmm. They say that too much is happening, and so they're going to temporarily close those stores.
I think that's smart for employees, and I know that's a pain. Especially if something goes wrong, you have to mail your stuff in or wait.
Mm-hmm.
But that is good since there's been such an increase in cases. You just want to be safe.
So the other thing here, we've got this is on the heels of them closing stores in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Arizona. There was 11
all the places people seem to be going for vacations right now. Is that it? Let's all be safe.
It sounds like it. Yeah, I know. I'm going on vacation. I'm traveling next week. But the thing is, I'm not going to a place where there's people. So
I think you should be fine as long as you just remember to bring a mask, and you're just supposed to be distant from each other.
And I'm not going to the Apple store.
So you're fine.
I mean, not anymore anyway. So everything should be fine.
I know you had your reservation for the Apple Bar for the Texas location.
I did.
But you don't have to go anymore.
Just going for that reason. Well, no, though, when you really think about it, I was wondering about it in terms of, you've heard of the Waffle House Index. They say that if there is a natural disaster, one of the ways that you can know just how the area is doing is whether or not the Apple or the Waffle House is open. So it made me wonder if there's a new coronavirus index where it's like the Apple Store index, where you're like, okay, things aren't that bad. The Apple Store is open, or we got a code red. Apple has closed the store. It's serious there.
I still think Waffle House will give you a bigger picture of things.
Maybe.
Because it tends to stay open. It almost becomes its own natural, disaster center.
They have their own generators.
Yeah, in some areas, they have their own thing that they can handle with it. But I guess we'll find out.
Well, Nikki, this is a different kind of disaster.
This is.
And, I'm just saying maybe a different disaster needs a new index.
And this might be the one.
This could be it.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, not all of the news coming out of the world is bad when it comes to COVID-19. I can tell you that the Wynn Las Vegas has become the first hotel in Vegas to open its buffet.
Yay! I do miss a good buffet. The options, the choices. We just haven't had that in a while.
I do know.
And outside of Vegas, most places, a buffet is a no-go. That's not going to be something offered probably anytime soon.
That's because they're bad.
Well, it's a potential problem area for
It's hard to find a good buffet. Now, for us, our go-to buffet is the Golden Corral. And
we know what it is. It's not the Wynn.
After they had a couple of shootings in the parking lot, we've been like, we're probably going to skip out. At least for a little while. We're not saying bad forever.
No, we found that if you go right when the doors open, that's your best bet. The food's just brand new. There's not a lot of time for conflict to happen. You got to get there early.
Well, I'll tell you, the photos from the buffet look stunning.
So the Wynn opened, it looked like last Thursday, following its lockdown stuff. The buffet was relaunched. So basically it's an all-you-can-eat service, but it's interesting. The dishes will come to you to your table.
Right.
So you can order as many times as you want, but it's a 2-hour window. I don't know if these buffets had the 2-hour window and we just never...
Well, it makes sense, though,
got
because
close to it.
They've got to be able to flip those tables.
Yeah.
And the idea of, okay, you can purchase here at the buffet, but you got to you got a limit.
Well, maybe
You
the
can only
limit
be here
was
for
always
so
there.
long. Maybe it was.
So you get a menu that is only for you, so it just gets trashed afterwards.
Which they can afford at the $60 price tag.
For a Vegas buffet, though, that's not like you
not
could go
bad.
worse. That's not the worst.
Okay. So you get that. They have a special placemat just for your mask.
Yeah, that's
so
cute.
you can take it off when you eat. And
You see the chicken and waffles, that picture?
Yes,
that looks so
it
good.
looks so good.
That looks so crispy. So crispy and amazing.
My only thing is, though, honestly, I just don't see a world where I could get 60. Like, if the idea was I'm going to pay $60 for this buffet and I'm going to eat myself senseless, I couldn't probably finish the meal that they show in this photo. It's like steak, eggs, chicken and waffles. Like, I would be done.
You could try your best. You don't eat all of it. You just sample on a
You
buffet.
just have a couple bites and then throw the rest of the food away.
So you have to book a
Great.
reservation, which most places you have to have a reservation for a lot of things now. And then you have to pay at the end of the meal instead. You don't pay at the beginning. So that reduces wait times, no crowds from gathering, because if you don't have a reservation, you're not going in. Tables are spaced out. You can have a QR code to download a menu or use the single-use paper one. And that seems to be how they're going to do it.
Okay. All right, would you go?
Oh, yes.
So if there was a buffet,
If there was a buffet
right
there, and we had it planned, because you have to stop eating like the day before.
Okay.
I know some people think you're supposed to stretch your stomach out and then just be ready to go.
There are different theories.
I want to enjoy it. So you stop drinking water, too. Now, that's not a popular thing, but you can't be filled up with liquid. All right?
Okay. All right.
So then you can just go crazy there.
Okay. Well, that's the option, guys. We can head on over there. I just hop a plane and hit the win.
Wasn't planning on. We're on vacation next week. This is not where we're going. I'm not going to Vegas. But if you are there, that's what they're offering.
I thought about it.
Did
because
you?
I did. I looked at flights and then I thought, yeah, they're currently having a heat wave there. It's like 110 degrees. No.
Not even a dry 110. It's just a terrible 110.
Listen, there's nothing that you can do to sell 110 to me.
But you're inside. That's why you're going to the 2-hour buffet.
I guess.
You don't want to go outside in the heat.
Man, I could be inside here. So I'm fine.
But you don't have the food.
Now that's true.
Maybe the riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the riot on Radio U.
Yesterday, Cyberpunk 2077, they had their, what did they call it last night? Their night, where it was like a 30-minute playthrough of the first whatever of the game. And I sat down to watch some of it yesterday, and I guess it just comes down to a lot of times I don't want to see that. I'm like, you know what?
You don't want to see it ahead of time, you mean?
Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? I'm good. I'm going to wait. I'm probably going to play it.
But you don't mind a demo.
No.
You just don't want to sit and watch someone else play it.
Yeah, there's something wrong with me. I don't like watching other people play games. I'd rather just do it myself.
If you've played the game, do you mind then?
Well, no, then I want to see if I can learn something from them.
Yeah, that's normal. You just don't want to have it spoiled from your first initial reaction to it.
I guess it is. So, and yesterday I couldn't find basically every game outlet on Earth put out their version of that video with them talking over it like, oh, I think that's a neat car. Wow, look at that car. It was like 30 minutes of that. And so I was trying to find a video that didn't have it, and I couldn't find that. But of course I wasn't digging too far. I finally settled on the Digital Foundry guys. At least they were like, wow, look at the aliasing on the blah, blah, blah. I was like, yes, at least this technical discussion I can get something out of.
So Cyberpunk is still supposed to be out. Well, no, it's not September anymore,
right? It was
right?
supposed to be September.
So now it's November?
It's November.
Yeah, right. I mean, this thing was supposed to be out last year.
I actually, strangely enough, I think we will get it in November. And here's the reason I think that. They say that it's been pushed off for technical reasons. I don't think so. I think it's being pushed off to launch next to new consoles.
Sure.
That's why I think they've moved it to November.
Well, it makes sense. Why not wait a little longer?
I mean, maybe not. Maybe it is a matter of... But the other thing to keep in mind is the longer you wait on a game, the better the chances are that they've fixed a lot of the bugs.
That's a good point.
That you would have encountered when it launched.
Well, they have plenty of time then. This should be bug-free.
Yeah.
Aaron texted, said, I'm in the same Obi. I want to go into the game unspoiled.
Yeah, I just don't really want to know much about it. The other thing that they announced during the Night City Wire live stream is that they're doing a Cyberpunk anime that's coming to Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they showed off some pre-production stuff from it. And let's see, did they get a date?
Is Keanu voicing that? Is that all that matters? No, he's not in that.
And it's not going to be out until 2022.
Oh, well, why? Why the rush, guys?
Well,
why hurry?
You know what? Maybe they're thinking, maybe what they haven't announced is that the game is also not coming out until 2022.
No wonder they're going to keep pushing that back. Geez, that's fine.
Well, that company, the company behind Cyberpunk is, what's their name? They're from Poland, CD Projekt Red. They have become, because of the anticipation of Cyberpunk, but also the long tail on The Witcher 3, which is the game that their last game they made. They're one of the biggest game companies in the world. Like, they have Buku Dolores. So, I don't know.
They got time to wait.
So what did you think of the Cyberpunk presentation last night, Nikki? Did you?
I did not watch some of it, but you can talk about it later if you wanted. But just because of the delay mention, I was going to remind you, in case you did not see, they delayed Tenet, the movie.
No! All right, tell me about it in a minute.
There's nothing to tell you. It's delayed till August.
Delayed till when?
Till August.
They said July. And then they were like, it's delayed until July.
So it's not just Cyberpunk that's delayed. Everything gets delayed. Whee!
You know what? Let's go ahead and delay fun. Let's go ahead and delay all good things.
Till 2022.
Everything good is delayed.
I didn't know if you saw that yet.
Dang it.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I'm glad you sent me this. I actually had this on a list for us to look at because Amazon is about to launch. I couldn't tell if it was real or if it was just something they're going to do on Amazon Prime. Because it sounds like something that, like, the video writes itself.
It sounds like a crime drama sort of unit where there's like 5 or 6 people, all different, wonderful, and special, and they're all working together towards this counterfeit unit.
Law and Order CCU.
No, I think this would just be called Counterfeit Unit.
Counterfeit Crimes Unit. Well, yeah, but Nikki, it has to have a
CCU.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
But you don't feel like it's a Law and Order spinoff?
No, this is like a CCU, and then you could put Amazon or CCU and then another company. So it would have different looks into companies and how they handle counterfeit stuff.
So Amazon has created Amazon's Counterfeit Crimes Unit. The idea is they're out there protecting people like you and me from buying counterfeit items on Amazon.
The crime unit consists of former federal prosecutors, investigators, data analysis.
Data scientists.
That's right. Responsible for catching people who are selling through Amazon counterfeit items.
Yeah. And believe me, it's
rampant.
What I see a lot of is, I assume this will be under that, but people will buy things like, let's say you buy a video card, and that's just my thing, but they'll buy the video card, put a brick back in the box, and return it.
Yeah.
And then that gets sold to somebody else who opens it up and gets a brick, but then Amazon's like, yeah, right.
Well, you see it also a lot in the beauty stuff where you'll order like makeup or shampoo or something, and it's not the same as if you would buy it from a salon or a store, even though it's supposed to be the same product.
Even though it looks the same.
Yeah, so you can usually get a feel for people who are trying to do this in the comment section.
Yes.
Because there's a difference. It doesn't work the same. And then people start, telling on them.
Well, that's definitely something that I see where it's like, oh, look, this is not what I ordered. It's not what's pictured, blah, blah, blah. That happens a lot with clothing. They get that a lot.
Yeah, so in November, Nike, they stopped selling their products on Amazon, saying that unlicensed distributors were a major factor in them stopping that.
All right.
So people are selling main company items that are either counterfeit or not officially licensed.
Well, they need a really cool theme song for this.
I thought Space Force, how we have the Space Force song?
Music?
They need something very dramatic so that when you walk into the counterfeit unit, this plays.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have Space Force, but obviously this
goes for space stuff. But
yeah, but we could work on that a little bit because I'm telling you, with the right theme song, they've got a hit franchise on their hands.
They should document this unit for an Amazon show.
I know. That
would be really funny.
I totally think they should. And you've got the quirky young person in the back that's like the data person. And then you've got
the gruff old prosecutor who's been at this for years.
Right. And then you've got the like middle-aged but very fresh-looking, wide-eyed person that spent all these years. And he's been brought on, and what he doesn't know, and that he's going to have a partner running the unit. He doesn't like to have a partner, and lo and behold, there's his also middle-aged, but no. There is his younger, beautiful partner who he was her teacher in like crime school, and they had an illicit relationship that they were not allowed to have, and it's why he left.
So there's tension.
Oh yeah, there's tension.
And the gruff older guy is going to have an episode where like his daughter buys or son buys counterfeit shoes, and it brings the family dynamic into it.
What if he doesn't buy them? He sells them.
And so, they're in trouble?
And so it gets traced back to...
See, you could totally have a whole series on this.
The shoes are coming from inside the house.
Exactly. There's a lot of meetings about it. Everybody's mad, and they try to figure out how did this happen?
Man, get us in the writer's room. Let's break this story.
This is wonderful.
Come on.
It's nice when you feel excited about a show again, even though it's not actually a show.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to be clear, this is an actual unit they've started at Amazon.
And we just realized it into a show, a reality show
for the instant prime department.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on RadioU.
Are you ready for a food fight?
Yeah, I'm totally ready for one. What do you got?
We are finally trying, and it's not like finally these things have been out for a while, but they are new.
They're new to us.
And if this is the hint, if you go to Walmart, it seems like a lot of them have displays of these in the front of locations. Mm-hmm. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. It is the Kit Kat apple pie flavor.
All right.
You excited?
You know what, Nikki? As excited as I think I've been in a long time.
We normally like Kit Kat flavors. I just wasn't sure how much you like, the apple pie stuff.
Oh, dude, I'm a fan.
Woo! It smells appley.
Oh, all right. So
it's a white chocolate Kit Kat. As we
having a hard time getting it open. It's hard. Sorry.
Just troubles everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh!
Does
it smells so good.
And it has, it looks like it has like little apple pie filling in it in the white chocolate.
Yeah, you can see little flecks
of something. Mm-hmm. Gosh, it really does smell very, very good.
Mm.
All right, trying the apple pie Kit Kats.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get the chocolate, I feel like, in the beginning. It feels like the, you get a can of filling.
Oh.
Well, you like the aftertaste with it? Is it smooth?
Just wait on it. Let it get in there.
You know, like when you have the those fry pies with the apple filling in it. It really tastes like the filling part, less like the crust with it, but really like the filling.
Yeah, the chocolate is it's there.
Yeah, but it's good. We got a lot of them, by the way. So if anybody, a part of RadioU, wants to have them when they come in, we have extras.
Mine's not extra.
You're going to take yours with you? Take another one home then. You're going on vacation next week. Take it with you on vacation.
Man, it's good.
So this is the limited edition Kit Kats, the crispy wafer and apple pie flavored white cream. That's the stuff. So it's supposed to have like the ice cream sort of thing on the top.
Have a little cup of coffee with it.
Are you having fun now?
Oh, it's
good.
This
is a good day.
It's good, Nikki.
It's a good way to have the day because we're going on vacation next week. So is this a good way to end the week?
Hey, man, this is a good vacation food. You're in the car, you're driving, you're breaking off a little Kit Kat.
I wonder about the health equivalent. Like, is this better to have than a piece of apple pie?
Well,
I wonder.
I'll bet there's less calories in this than an apple pie.
Sure.
But remember,
with all the flavor.
An apple pie contains real apples.
You sure? Yeah, I guess.
Well, depending on where you get it.
Depending on where you're getting it at.
So that counts as fruit.
If you really like the apple pie filling, when it's really like liquidy and stuff, very processed.
That's that crap you can buy at the store in a can.
In a can, basically really has a strong taste of that. It's not bad, but it's a strong taste of that sort of apple pie filling.
All right. Well, I get. What are we saying? We're saying we approve of the apple pie Kit Kat?
Let's just pick out of 10. What do you think? I would say maybe...
I'd say a solid 8.
I would say 6 or 7. Somewhere in between that.
A little bit lower.
Well, I guess I don't really like apple pie flavor as much as I thought. It's not bad, though. It's just very filling taste.
I love apple
You
pie.
do? Well, Gant, here. I have a bunch of them.
No.
Take more. Take more with you.
As we learned earlier, I've already had the brownies, so we'll just...
You don't want any more than that.
Let's just rest on this.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So last week, was it? Yeah, it was maybe it was last weekend. I had decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go grab a movie on my way home. And I got 2 movies. I got Jaws and another movie. And
you're not going to say what the other movie was? You
it doesn't matter what it is.
Well, I think it always is.
It's not RoboCop 2.
It's a part of the narrative with it.
I got 3 movies.
You got 3 movies?
Yeah.
Okay. So what else or what happened?
So I got my 3rd movie.
Uh-huh.
And I was, excited about watching it, whatever. They came at different times. And so I was going to watch it. I didn't get around to it. And yesterday I was in the studio, getting some stuff out of my bag. And I was like, what the heck? How did this get in here? How did I put this movie in this bag? And so I went ahead and I made sure I stuck it on the top. So when I got home, I pulled it out.
Unload your bag.
So I opened my bag and I took my movie downstairs and I
think I know where this is going.
I took that unopened copy of the movie and set it down right on top of the other unopened copy of it.
Did you buy 2 of the same and not know that you already had one?
A month ago.
Yeah.
I bought it and was all excited to watch it and put it in my bag. And
had the movie.
I forgot
that you had the movie.
And in all my years of buying and collecting movies,
this is the first time?
Never done that. I have always known, kept track of, been aware of. I have that version. I bought it from this place. It's ridiculous, but I can go through. I can tell you where I bought a movie, what I paid for it. I don't know why.
This is all the stuff that his brain remembers.
But my brain remembers all of that stuff.
So it's not like you bought the 4K and you had the Blu-ray.
I bought 2 of the exact same things.
So what does this mean leading from there? From that starting point, does that lead to any changes or I'm sure there's an app where you can organize them. I've done that. But you didn't check the app before buying?
No, because the app was just for fun.
Oh, and
I didn't need accountability or whatever. I knew.
Yeah, Stephanie said you should have a spreadsheet, so you kind of already have that.
I do have a spreadsheet, and it's fun. I don't know what one night. I was just like, this is fun!
Cataloging your library.
My movies and all of that. And
uh-oh.
I know.
What are you going to do? Can you return one? Or?
Oh, yeah. I actually filled out the stuff and I'll drop it in the whole UPS return at the Amazon, that is the best. You just hand them a piece of paper, they box it up, ship it.
You don't even need the paper. Just show them they just scan the code.
Okay, whatever. I always give them the paper.
Well, that's an extra step.
I guess it is.
Just have them scan the code. You don't even have to pack the thing.
And so, that's beautiful. You're done. Whatever.
Well, I'm sorry we had a problem with your ordering system.
No, I feel like I crossed over a line. I don't know what the line was or what it means and how it should affect my behavior going forward.
So we're not sure on that yet, but something.
I'm going to spend a lot of my time on vacation just figuring out what it means. But
I like when we just think about it. It doesn't lead to change, but we're just going to think about it.
This is bad, guys. This is bad.
Were you disappointed in yourself or just the fact that you couldn't catch it, that you already had the movie?
I don't know. I just looked at it and I was like, what? Really?
You already had, and it was in your bag. It was on you.
Oh, I've carried that everywhere I've gone. That movie has been with me for a solid month everywhere I've gone.
Well,
I think I bought it. I'm not making this up. I'm all but sure that I bought it for Memorial Day weekend. So you
did the same thing. You were going to buy it to watch over a weekend.
That's exactly right. And
well, check your spreadsheet from now on.
I just want to point out, though, I did watch RoboCop 2 and Jaws. Like, that happened.
Just not this one.
Just not that third one.
You have the 2 copies of it.
Yeah. I thought I'd just let it sit for a while.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
First off, he was yawning. Second, is this supposed to portray you wearing our new Radio U face mask?
Don't ruin the illusion.
You don't have one on.
I'm wearing the new Radio U mask.
Well, we have a new Radio U face mask. It's in stock. If you head to our shop page through shop.radiou.com, you can actually check out what it looks like.
Okay, everybody's doing it, so of course we have a face mask. You can grab one, you can see it. But isn't it funny how I had a friend of mine who grew up in Europe, and he said that in Europe, like when he came to the United States, he was just like, why does everyone have writing on their clothing? Because he said in Europe, no one, like you would
like
never.
Graphic tees and stuff?
I mean, this has been probably 10 years ago. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you what it's like now. But yeah, the idea that you would have writing or especially a company logo on your shirt was like.
Just not done?
You guys why are you? He didn't understand it. He was like, yeah. Everyone's a billboard and pays for the right to be their own company. And he said where he had been, he grew up in Germany. He was like, we would never wear shirts like this. Like, no way. Again, what's it like now? I don't know. This was 10 years ago. But I was thinking the other day as I was walking through the store and I saw somebody like wearing a T-shirt and then they had a band name on their mask. Keep in mind, I have a Red mask from the band Red.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. We felt like all of the advertising space in the world had been taken up, but we were wrong.
Now there's more.
Now we can put an ad over your mouth. So instead of you talking and telling people things, we control the message.
Now you can still talk and everything, but the face mask is there if you want to see it. I wore mine to Costco yesterday, and someone was super excited to see it. So,
oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's cute.
So how was the Costco trip?
It was good.
Did you get 2 of anything?
What do you mean? Like, because they only offer, or the limit?
Oh, I was just like, you get a movie, you get the same movie again.
No, or I thought you meant, like, was I buying you something? No, I did not buy 2 of most things, I don't think.
Did you get me something while you were there?
I don't think I did.
Oh.
I can look back and see. Is there something you needed?
I mean, really,
all you have to do is text, and I'll be happy to get it for you.
I just thought it would have been cool, like, if you were thinking about me.
And what if I went to my purse and I was like, surprise! I got you a 50-pack. Wow. I don't know of what, but that's the normal amount when you go to Costco.
I got you a 50-pack of cheese.
Yay! I did get some hot dogs for next week.
Well, that sounds great. I like hot dogs.
So next week we're on.
They're not weirdo vegan hot dogs, are they?
No, it's the Costco hot dogs.
Okay. All
so
right.
next week we're going to be out doing Worst of Riot because we're on vacation. So if you make sure to listen each week, you might hear some of your favorite parts of the riot.
Mm-hmm. So, meaning Nikki. She'll be here. Well, I mean, you'll hear her voice.
We're here together in Worst of Riot land next week.
So, shop.radiou.com if you want to put Radio U over your mouth.
It's very comfortable to wear it.
Well, that sounds cool, right?
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So a phone call was placed early this morning to the La Crosse Police Department about a little something that happened to the Porta Potty near the Pettibone Boat Club last night.
Uh-oh. Were people blowing up the Porta Potties?
Somebody blew up the Porta Potty, and I don't mean...
Like, which way did they do it? Because with sick tummy or with explosives?
I'm telling you that there are pieces of Porta Potty everywhere.
Can't clean that up, guys. Can't clean it up.
Now, what the police are trying to figure out, did someone have it out for the Pettibone Boat Club?
Was this a message?
They're trying to send a message. All right. Trying to tell them.
Someone mad at someone there?
If you don't pay up your
Maybe.
protection money, something might happen to your porta potty.
Now listen, okay. Now let's walk with this.
Okay.
You know how sometimes we always think things are the worst, and maybe it's not a crime, but maybe something happened. Someone had a very sick tummy. They got so sick, and then they were embarrassed about how they left the porta potty. And the only example or the only thing to do was just blow it up because they didn't want anybody else to see. It's like, to see what happened to it.
So, really, this was a crime of passion. It was not premeditated.
No, it was just like a spur of the moment, like, oh my gosh, what did I do?
What have I done?
Yeah, and that's the only way they could make it go away, that they could see the possible way of doing it. Do you think? Or someone had it out for the club.
I just want you to know that had never occurred to me until this moment.
Oh, you need to be more optimistic about people and porta potties and crime.
No, that's not what I hear at all. Okay, here's what I hear. You have a deathly fear of porta potties.
I hate them. I absolutely hate them. They're gross.
You know what?
They can burn.
It's self-loathing.
You think?
Because I think what has happened is I've never left a porta potty and been like, oh my gosh, I'm so ashamed of the mess I've made. I want to blow it up.
You're ashamed that you went in.
But I think that maybe
you couldn't hold it.
Somebody in this room at one point in their younger years did something so terrible to a porta potty that they no longer want to go in them. So it seemed perfectly reasonable that someone would say,
no, that's not the case.
That's the read I'm getting right now.
Maybe someone went in and accidentally looked in the hole and just realized what it is. Because that's like an opening to...
When you stare into the abyss.
To the flames in the middle of the earth.
The abyss stares back at you.
Yeah, and you just can't help but how your body reacts, and it might have just been to burn it to the ground.
You just all of a sudden were like, this is an abomination.
Yeah, you had to get rid of it.
Okay. All right. I like that. We should probably call the La Crosse Police Department.
Let them know that's an option.
These are ideas they haven't even explored. They're probably looking for an explosive device. And it's like, hey, listen, you
don't know.
Just walk away.
I just envision
you don't want to know.
Someone just lights a match and drops it in there, and that's all you have to do to blow it up.
That to me seems like a legit possibility.
But anyways,
that's actually the first thing I thought was like,
how they do it.
That's a lit match, and that was the end of that.
Or
swamp gas. You know what I'm saying?
Never mind. I don't know if I can say that. Oh, all right. No. Well, if someone uses the bathroom and like it's bad, don't they sometimes just light a match?
Yeah.
So what if they did it on accident and they just lit a match out of accident and then just blew up?
Whoops.
So again, let's think good about people. Maybe this wasn't a crime and it was just an accident, and they're embarrassed now, so they're not going to come forward.
I mean, they would, but they don't want anybody to know.
They don't want anybody to know that's what they did.
It was them. Or I still like the idea too of the mafia sending a message.
That also could be possible.
Yeah.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I don't know if you've heard about it, but NASA is holding a public contest for designing a little something, a toilet for the moon.
Really? Oh,
you know, Nikki,
that's the worst. Imagine like it had to be on the moon and it's a toilet. Gosh. I don't even know what the alternatives are. I can't hold it if I had to go up to the moon. I can't do it. I can't.
Well, that's why you got to have a toilet.
No.
You're on the moon. You need a toilet.
I just can't. I mean, maybe it'd be clean, but how do you service it? Like, what do you do?
They are looking for a low gravity,
low flow
space toilet for the moon. It's real.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Just like on the moon, or if we build a house and it's in the house in the moon?
Well, yeah. I mean, like the space base.
Well, like I want walls around the toilet.
Well, Nikki, it's not like
can't just be a toilet.
I mean, it's not like we're going to go install a toilet on the moon
they could.
next to the American flag we left there.
There needs to be more than just a toilet.
There's going to be a picture of an
I want
astronaut,
a building.
pants down, holding the flag.
No, that's what I want to know. You're just saying toilet. I want them to design a bathroom. It needs to be a bathroom.
I'm going to need Chip and Joe to get in here.
Because how do you do it with the spacesuit? Like, how can you do that?
I want you to think about this, all right? You've heard of shiplap. This is space lap.
It's different.
It's going to go on the sides here. It's going to be nice.
Well, I just want people to go in with eyes wide open on we need the whole thing, not just the toilet.
Okay. I think, well, the contest here that NASA is doing, what they want people to do is design a space toilet. And I think NASA's going to take care of the space around it.
I think there's a lot we don't know about people that go to space and what happens, and they're not telling us, and they're just going to be quiet about it. So it's just what has to happen.
Here's the deal. The current toilets that you'll find are for microgravity, meaning that you're basically weightless in space. But you see, the moon has gravity. And so they are looking for instead of a microgravity toilet, they need a low gravity toilet.
They can't just do the hole like in the park ones where they just dig a hole and just leave it down there.
I mean, maybe. I'll tell you, I just feel like it has problems.
Well, you got to work around it.
It's not perfect, so that's something.
I just don't want to think about this stuff.
Yeah, you just want to wrap it up.
I just want to actually go home.
I want to go home, and I want to use the bathroom when I get there.
The real one.
The real potty.
The toilet in the bathroom.
It's not portable. It's stuck there.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It happened last night. Actually, it's yesterday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. The Steam summer sale.
All right.
began.
So you can see what PC games are for sale.
Yeah. So I am right now hitting up all my nerd friends. If you found something on the Steam sale that you're playing, or maybe you think I should be playing, you should text it 877-2-RADIO-U, or you could also email us riot@radiou.com.
How long does the sale go through?
July 7th or 9th. I'm not sure which day it is, but I think it's basically 2 weeks.
And so next week we're on vacation, so we will not be in Worst of Riots next week, but you can still email if you come across something, or you can still message us and send it to them.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm not going to be playing anything. Like, I'll probably play this weekend, but I'll be gone next week. Mm-hmm. So this weekend, next weekend maybe, but I'm trying to figure out what...
Did you look through the list? Anything jump out at you? Or?
I did some looking last night. I didn't find... Okay.
Is it a long list? Like, I've never seen it. Is it like thousands and thousands?
Yes.
Oh.
It's that. So here's what I have. This is my short list so far. Onimusha Warlords, which is a remake, it's like a reimagining of something of a game that was out on PlayStation 2 like 100 million years ago. $10. There's Journey, which was a PlayStation exclusive that I never played. $11. Zone of Enders, which is also a PlayStation 2 game that I never played, but it looks cool. $7. And then this is the one that's a little iffy.
A little bit more money.
Iffy. $23.99. It's normally $40, Nikki. So that's 40% off.
Yeah, but for a sale, I don't know if that's enough. But what is it?
It's Terminator Resistance. Nobody knows this.
There was a game?
But when they released that Terminator movie last year, they also released a game. It's not a game of the movie. It's just a game. And word on the street is that it didn't review very well with critics, but with players, they liked it.
It was actually pretty good.
They're like, hey, it's not worth... The thing I've seen a lot of is if it was half price, it would be worth it.
Well, they took that to heart.
Pretty close.
And they said, here's about half price.
And so I was thinking, like that seems like that might be fun. Like I like Terminator, and that's another thing I see is that if you care about Terminator stuff, you probably like this. So
might be worth a try.
Maybe.
All right, so that's Obi's list so far.
That's where I'm at so far.
Not bought, but just a list.
The other thing I would like to get Dragon Quest 11. I've always been curious about that. I can't get that to go on sale. I mean, it's $30. It's normally $60. Come on, get in the 20s. $19.99.
Get down there, but it's not. It's still in the 30s. You mean
still $30? $29.99.
That might be the lowest they're willing to go.
No,
they need to still make money on it.
You got to go lower. You can do it.
It's funny.
I want that, and maybe Monster Hunter World. $19.99. But
You've talked about that one for a while.
I know, it just seems too complicated. Kill the thing, craft this, run around. It takes hours.
Hey, that sounds like Animal Crossing if you just took out the kill the part. Just the running around and crafting.
If you want to know the
Animal
truth,
Crossing.
It's probably way more similar than we think.
Pretty close.
Are people really still listening to The Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
So, Nikki, when you watch YouTube, where do you watch it?
On my phone.
You answered that faster than I thought you
I
would.
was taking a sip of his drink. How else was I supposed to answer? On my phone, in bed, usually. Like my side.
So YouTube for you is like exclusively a phone thing?
Yeah, usually.
See, I watch tons of YouTube on my TV. Because what I will do is, unlike Nikki, you'll sit in front of your TV with your phone.
But I won't actually watch it on there.
I'll cast to my TV from my phone.
I don't like, because a lot of times I'm perfectly fine skipping stuff. If it bores me, I just skip through and find what I actually want to watch. And I find skipping is a lot easier just watching it on my phone.
Yeah, well, that in truth is one of the things that I love about using your phone is that you can just scrub. And I'll just scrub on my phone. It scrubs on the TV. No problem. So, but they say that YouTube viewership is getting larger. Their audience is growing in general. And something that is becoming bigger and bigger is people watching YouTube on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they now have over 100 million people a month that watch YouTube on their TVs.
Now I have their YouTube. Like, is it still called Red, or what is it called?
Yeah, no, it's YouTube Premiere.
And I used to use YouTube TV. I did used to actually have that. So I don't know if they're counting. Are they counting YouTube TV?
No.
They're just saying you might watch it more on your TV.
YouTube Premium is what it's called.
Used to call.
Yeah, and no, it's just YouTube itself and not YouTube TV.
I bet you during quarantine, everybody needed to just at least pretend to do something. So getting out of bed and going to your couch to watch something was like going somewhere. And so you would actually watch your TV when you normally wouldn't.
Okay, that's fair.
So maybe that's why the numbers are a bit higher.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Like I mean, we've talked about it. Like, I love YouTube. I have grown to. I find way more things on YouTube I like watching than I could ever get.
An actual show on a network.
Yes. I mean, I watch Linus Tech Tips or something stupid like that. Like, and it's way more entertaining to me than the $10 million an episode scripted series they've put together.
I know. And it's not like networks can recreate that, because then they'll go try to make something and it just doesn't work. So
it doesn't.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
I'll have to tell you, one of the things that drives me insane just in the news media and especially in politics is how inconsistent people are. Politicians, if you really watch, and you're like, really watch. They just go wherever people like.
The crowds are, the moment.
That's just where they go.
Sure.
Like that's where they are. They're just like, because they're just trying to curry favor, and it drives me nuts. I mean, and you watch people change their position because honestly, that's just where society kind of goes. Like, they're firmly against something, and then they're like, oh, when I said that I thought it was the worst thing ever, I didn't mean that. I was just having a good time.
Some politicians have become smarter at doing that, and they make it seem like they evolved, or they've done this or they've done that, when really, if you pull back the curtain, you know, they are just trying to grab a hold of all these different types of people just to go follow them.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to me because as I look at it, I think that it's one of the things, honestly, that I really like about God is that if you hear what God says about himself, he says, listen, I'm the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So that means that if God was really in favor of something today, I don't have to be afraid that tomorrow he's going to be like, well, I've really grown. And as I've gotten to know you, I don't like you very much. So you're out. And, you know, a lot of people are turning against you and the crowd doesn't like you. So I don't really like you either. That's not who God is. It doesn't matter what everybody else says. When God says that he loves you, you can count on that today, tomorrow, the day after, and the day after.
It's not like our love with everybody else that can change quite often.
Oh, we're quick.
We're very quick to change.
We're quick.
So thankfully, it's not like that.
It's not. Listen, if you want to know what it's like to be loved and not have to worry about it being yanked away at any moment, just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to know what your love is like. I want to have a relationship with you. And that is a great place to start, because I'll tell you, God loves you. Jesus has done amazing things for you and wants to be in your life and show you what life is actually all about. And guess what? He doesn't change either. He won't be like, today it's about this, but tomorrow, nah, we're on a whole new thing, bro.
Follow along.
I'm so excited.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
You have no doubt heard me say things like this before, but I'm going to say it again. It wouldn't be such a bad thing if this weekend you took a break from the news, maybe from the entire internet, maybe from social media, whatever. I know that is the thing. Well, okay. It's one of many things. But I am excited about taking some time off and getting away from
all the noise
news.
with it.
I am, because you know what? It's just one of those things that like, for example, right now I'm looking at an article about how in Sweden, Sweden's like chief, basically their Surgeon General is basically in a fight with the World Health Organization, saying, hey, you guys are lying about our statistics. You're incorrectly interpreting the data, and on and on and on. Now, we have had some kind of disagreements between our country and the World Health Organization. But when I look at that, I just go, you know what? We don't know, do we? We don't actually know. Like, we're all yelling at each other, but we're still figuring it out.
So what you're saying is you wouldn't mind a break from all that?
I wouldn't mind a break from, I really do after a while, the cognitive dissonance of multiple voices very loudly asserting that they are the right one and they know everything. And then right next to them is somebody going, that guy's an idiot. Listen to me. And then next to him is like, neither one of them know what they're talking about. I've got it figured out.
Well, they say that you sometimes, you need social media during the week a lot of times.
Hey,
just no way around it. But they suggest that Saturday or Sunday or even both of those days are the prime days you're actually supposed to take a weekend from your work and a weekend from all of that noise.
This is one of the thoughts that I have been having is when, and this may sound ridiculous, but I've really been thinking about it. When you are constantly reading what other people are saying, you're never saying anything. You don't get a chance to process or think for yourself. And your mind literally becomes filled with other people's thoughts, other people's whatever. Why don't you take a little time and just think like, you know what? I realize this is a whole stripe of independence that you might not be ready for, but no, you know what? Actually, why don't you take some time?
Is this better?
And think for yourself. I'm not saying to stick your head in the sand. I'm not saying to stay uninformed. I'm saying you just take a break. You don't eat all day. There's periods of time in between eating where your body digests what it's been eating. Let's give our brains a chance to digest. Because do you know what happens when you're digesting when you're in the middle? You're thinking clearer. You're thinking better. You're figuring things out for yourself. And then when you go back to the table and everybody starts yelling at you, it actually seems a little more ridiculous. You'll be like, wait.
Why are we yelling?
What's everybody yelling about? And then you'll become a truly dangerous person because let me tell you what, someone that thinks for themselves, dangerous.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Dad can't smack me in public.